10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Axe.
Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Admiral Concar.
Complexities turn to pick. Mirana. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirits.
Complexities turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The sack.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Silencer.
Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sand King.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Storm Spirit.
Complexities turn to ban. seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
But he's gotta let me know.
Reserve time.
Test.
10
Are we good?
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine now. So
Storm's also slow.
big team fights probably mean what? You want to play a pickoff game, right? Storm Spirit's quite good at that. Axe, Silencer, they're both good at being able to play more of a pickoff style.
You want to
instead
win
of trying to go into these full 5-mans.
Yeah, but you got to win lanes.
Yep.
And I don't see them winning the lanes right now. Because Storm Spirit is weak. Kunkka is very good at picking a Storm Spirit off, and as well as the triple stun from the other heroes. And then, like, it just seems like it's going to take way too long for them to get online.
Dire team pick.
Well, coL. I like the anti-mage ban out of FDL. coL lacks some physical damage here. It's great against the storm.
Yeah. I could see them, like, picking Spec. I know that Freedom was pretty much the only one that ran it, but I think it, like, fits the bill. Like,
For who?
For complexity. Someone's fast, like, if Spec plus any of these heroes can get a kill on, like, Silencer, Venge, Storm, I think, but I don't know if they'd pick it. FDL, what are they lacking?
10 seconds remaining.
Well, they're lacking
Something to create space in the early game.
a 4 position that is.
Ogre, maybe? Pudge? Pudge?
All right, 04 Pudge. Here we go.
Complexity's turn to pick.
I like Pudge. Yeah. They lose the lanes, though.
They definitely lose the lanes. The 04 has to do like so much work. The burden in the early game is definitely on him. And look at that, Ben.
I got it.
Good call.
Yeah, like their lanes are so weak. You can get away with a Spectre pick this game.
Yep.
That's the thing.
You got this nice 4 lineup that is from Complexity that is able to take team fights handedly. Spectre can just clean up every single time they find the right kind of initiation.
Yeah,
They've got better late game, presumably, with this Spectre pickup.
I think they have to lane the Axe, but it's so tough to lane the Axe this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't, the Spectre gets free farm. He gets 6, and then as soon as he gets 6, you lose your other 2 lanes.
I think FDL is going to have such a hard time here because I don't think they win an aggro tri-lane.
Yeah, they do
And
not.
then it's going to be, what, Axe against a tri-lane of...
Oh, wait, they could win
Huh?
an aggro. No.
No, I don't think they can win a aggro here.
It's not bad. Venge, Silencer, Pudge. That's actually, I think, their best shot, though. Like, if you don't limit the Spectre, he is going to crush you. And you'll die sometimes, but at least he won't get farm and he won't get a fast 6. And the supports will be forced to.
Prepare for
I guess it's really up to 04 to do a lot of work then. I think if you're FDL, you have to make a choice. Are you sacking the Axe or are you sacking the Venge?
I think you sack Venge.
I kind of agree, but it looks like they're going to sack the Axe.
Okay. Get my predictions.
MJW, even though it looks like they're sacking him, isn't even picking up the Iron Talon. Looks like they may try and lane somehow, dual lane situation. Meanwhile, Complexity running a full 5-man into the enemy jungle. Doesn't look like they'll catch anything as FDL are playing pretty passive right now.
Get your predictions then.
I already did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't see.
Would you like to
wanna hear 'em.
approve my predictions? Will the tower be killed by 10 minutes? Yes.
Yes.
I put no.
30
Total number of
seconds to
teleports canceled by stun, 0.
I put 1. There's so many.
I mean that's a wash.
Teams with
Yeah.
the most kills at the game
I
end.
put complexity.
Complexity.
Sure.
Player with the least deaths.
I put cancel because I think Justin just beats sometimes.
Well, yeah, I thought it was either Mirana or Spectre, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, you go off on a Mirana game, then you're all good.
Yeah. They
Largely
can't-
depends on an FTL and where they put their pressure, right?
Yep. Yes, it does.
Because you got some situations that's like guaranteed kill with the Silencer, Global Silence, and the Storm Spirit or Axe being able to make an initiation. You should be able to get like a guaranteed kill on that one hero without any counter initiation stopping it. Melons. Keeping it light. He'll argue with the admins, but he'll banter with the players.
Oops, I didn't mean to type anything.
Oh.
Did you press W?
I pressed W.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't think I pressed anything.
There we go.
They're poised and ready to fight, as they should be, with Sanking Sun and Arrow is already enough to kill most of their heroes.
Yeah,
Combine that with Lush Stun.
even if Spectre was not in the fight at all, they probably still have superior level 1.
Yep.
The battle
So we're going to have a trade-off of the runes. FDL don't get caught by the smoke maneuvers of complexity. They're going to start setting up. It is going to be Z-Freak on the Kunkka. We're going to have a mid-cancel Mirana. In the offlane, Mu is going to be picking up that Sand King. He's going to be going up against the Bisa and O4 dual lane, as FDL are going to be keeping Sand King on the silencer at bottom lane with MJW, thinking this is going to be enough to be able to win Axe his lane. We'll see whether or not they're able to really put pressure on that Spectre. Of course, 747 is going to be feeling some pressure of his own. Z-Freak, known for being an excellent roamer, is going to be trying to use this Kunkka to pressure the Storm Spirit occasionally, maybe set up a Mirana Arrow, or maybe set up the Sand King instead. Right now, O4 is pushing back Mu at the top lane, but won't be able to push back both of these melee heroes.
Well, so far this is actually pretty fortunate for FDL because Z-Freak's spending a lot of time not at bottom, and the dual lane of Stan King and MJW is actually enough to... they should win this lane.
And Thinking has won the warding battle, and MJW is getting good levels. Yeah, I think this is very good for FPL in the early game. They needed the X to have a good time, and he has a TP scroll just to make sure that he's not like completely bullied and he can switch lanes if necessary. And Spectre cannot harass an X at all, not in the early game. You will get destroyed. But Moo's also having a fun time on top.
0-4, thinking he's going to be able to stop this pull, but in fact he's going to be caught by the Bro Strike into the Torrent. An easy early kill. Going the way of Complexity. Taken down by the lane creeps instead.
Boots versus a very dangerous build because you don't have that much regen and you're constantly taking damage as a Pudge, and you also don't have a stout shield, so if you're taking any sort of creeps you will get destroyed. So it doesn't look like it's going to pay off for him.
Yeah, I don't think he could really trade with the Sand King anyways.
Yep. Because he has stout.
And Sand King has Caustic.
Yeah. But MGW is able to farm up this troll camp, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, you do that, Cap. You are not prepared.
That's me.
It's okay.
Hard part for Vengeful Spirit, right? It's just like the Morphling, just like, what's another like really low range hero against Sand King? It's just like,
Luna.
Yeah, Luna. Those cores just do not do well against Sand King because of the Caustic Finale. They're practically a melee hero.
Yeah, and picking Venge and not winning your lanes is never a good sign.
Z-Freak has the X into the Torrent. Bisa is going to have to try and get in the middle of this one, somehow stop this. He actually chooses to stun Z-Freak, which leaves Mu up for the double stun of the Burrow Strike. 0-4 is going to be popped by Caustic Finale. Another swing from Z-Freak's sword. Now they just might be able to get more. Fortunately, the silencer is here, but the Mango's pop. They're still going to be able to get the jump here onto Bisa. The Torrent comes out, a couple more right clicks. They should be able to finish off the Venge, trying to get away. The Caustic Finale and the little bit of help of Orva Venom. Z-Freak will claim a double kill here at the top lane. A Vengeful Spirit losing her lane and losing it badly as Complexity take a 4-0 lead.
0-4 ran into his Venge so that it just lined up for a double stun. That was really the finishing blow that just completely lost FDL this top lane. And it is a huge loss. Pudge is finally level 2, but it's almost irreparable damage. The Sand King is level 4 right now. Level 4 in a dual lane.
And they're trying to roam in nice and early. They're actually going to set a trap here.
Oh,
0-4,
man.
thinking he was going to be able to find the two that were rotating onto mid, is actually going to be caught by Mu and Z-Freak as they round the corner, find the Pudge, get the kill, killing spree. All ready for Z-Freak, and they can still wrap and secure the 4-minute rune in top lane.
747 looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. The Admiral is everywhere. They can't see him, man. There is no way he can contest this rune, but at least he's out of there.
is under attack.
They can secure the... Oh, never mind. Complexity actually get the bottom rune as well. Melons is going to be there, picks up the haste.
MJW.
He may actually be in a bit of trouble here. Gets the call out, but only snagging creeps. Doesn't actually hit Justin. Now he's going to have some serious issues with Melons, who's just kind of running around with this prancing pony. He's got the 2 levels of Diabolic Edict and does a decent amount of damage to the axe, but
Too many creeps.
yeah, stays within the creep wave. He'll be okay. Almost gets a call there. Again, putting pressure on Justin, keeping him back. He's doing pretty well in CS. Comes to the axe.
Here comes Pudge.
And Budka. 0-4. First big play by him. He needs to be able to hit this hook. Will land it onto Melons, securing that kill, it looks like, as they'll run him down with a Battle Hunger on him. Leshrac.
They needed that
throws.
so
Stanky,
badly.
Jesus.
Tower is
Yeah,
under
I think at this point they just abandon top lane. There's nothing they can do about it. 0-4, you just gotta move around, hope for some lucky hooks, and try and create some space.
Which means they are now sacking Bisa at this top lane. He pretty much at any time could get dove by the combination of Sand King and Kunkka.
Yeah, I mean, with the heroes that they picked, one of their heroes, either the Axe or the Venge, was gonna get sacked one way or another.
Bisa's doing a pretty good job of keeping his distance for now, but as Complexity cut the creep wave, they will have free reign to go for this dive, which is why Bisa's currently trying to burrow his way through the trees. Looks like he's got a nice little escape
Dire's
path
top
here.
tower is under attack.
And with Wave of Terror coming up, he might actually be able to pull the creeps off of the tower still while they're hunting for him in the trees. Mu has found the little path away, but Bisa still hiding in the trees, not showing himself. They're going to cut another creep wave, but now Pudge is actually coming in, and maybe with the TP, they can try and punish this one. They're going to TP in with a silencer first onto the tier 2 tower. Bisa leads the initiation onto Z-Freak. Z-Freak dances back behind the tier 1 tower while Mu will dodge the hook. The TP out from Z-Freak will be successful, and all FDL have done has secured Bisa a bit of farm and pushed Complexity back.
Storm's level 7 with a DD, so he can actually punish. He's actually had a pretty good game because the supports have been busy keeping the side lanes occupied, most on the CS, and yeah, the DD rune is very good. They have to be very careful about how they approach top lane.
Overall, you can see from our net worth chart, lead from Complexity being secured, but as you said, as 747 comes into this game, maybe things will turn around. Same goes with MJW, as he's secured a good amount of farm within his lane. 1,000 gold. Is this going to be a fast Blink Dagger game? You think you really have to try and get that initiation as soon as possible? Or can he slow things down just a tad and go for Vanguard first?
Vanguard versus all this magical is kind of bleh.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to be able to do things for his team early. He had the good lane, and now it's time for him to create space for the rest of his team.
Yeah. It's kind of the tax that you pay, right? All that space was created for you in the laning phase. Nice snag back there from 0-4. The Caustic Finale doesn't quite finish up a silencer. He's slowed down though, and here comes Justin. An easy kill, 1, maybe 2. Looking for the dive underneath the tier 2 tower. Nice snag there. Cancel, lands the arrow, beautifully lines it up, and that will be a reward, a kill for him. 7-1 now for Complexity.
Venice.
Moonlight Shadow, apparently, Complexity not wanting to stop the kill fest just yet. They're going to wrap behind this tier 1 tower. Try and get this torrent just freely set up.
They need the Sand King there.
Yeah, they need that guaranteed stun. They can't just X747, he'll just ball out of it.
I'm surprised he wasn't there with them. That would have been a very nice kill for them. Although it is in between the T1 and T2, I think someone would have TP'd. MGW getting close to his Blink Dagger. They need the level 6 on the silencer. I think they need to take it easy for the next couple of minutes. Wait for the tome and then get some kills. MJW.
He needs some help. Silencer and Pudge are on the way. Looks like the Leshrac missed his stun, which means MJW doesn't have too much to worry about. The X actually doesn't go down from Z-Freak, but either way.
Pretty much everything got missed.
Dire's middle
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
That trio will stay at bottom lane. They've left Justin here, JK, at the top lane to match up against Bisa's somewhat underfarmed Vengeful Spirit, though he's making his way back, 37-8. Considering the pressure that was put on him, he has performed admirably under that. Pull out. Get a little space for himself. 747 still top of the board when it comes to CS. Taking a look at that net worth, though, you'll see our Mirana is slightly ahead thanks to the kills that she's been involved in.
You're looking around the map, there is Spectre ult in just 30 seconds time. If they want to make a move, Moonlight Shadow's also up in 40, so they have a pretty decent window, maybe around the 10-minute mark, while the supports are still very low level on FDL. We have Pudge, who's level 3, and Silencer, who's still level 4, so they won't have their ultimates for a brewing fight. And I think they can like sack a hero if they wanted to, like sack a who would you want to sack? You want to sack a Pudge. If you can sack the Pudge for something like that, then it would be great. But like MJW is really close to his blink. You don't want to lose him. You pretty much never want to lose your Storm Spirit. And Ventral Spirit is your carry, so you don't want to lose her, although it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if she died. But like a gank's about to come, but how are they going to handle it?
Well, they've got the Blink Dagger. If they want it, MJW is going to head back to base here. And Complexity do have that Moonlight Shadow and Spectre ult combination ready to go now, especially with JK Justin picking up the urn. Be well rewarded with a successful gank. Couple urn charges. Pull that Spectre ahead of the opposing carry.
FDL have very good words out right now, though, and it looks like they're going to make a move before Complexity can with the Blink Dagger, with the Axe, the Silencer. Are they going to be able to get Z-Freak?
Oh, this is perfect time for Complexity to get aggressive onto 747, as that just leaves MJW with the counter initiation onto Z-Freak. An easy Cooling Blade not going to land, though. Tries to throw it out a bit too early. Still, though, probably was only going to get that one kill cancel with the leap and use of the Moonlight Shadow in a defensive position. Puts FDL in a nice position to be able to control this game for the next couple of minutes. They've got the Blink Dagger up on the Axe. They have the Storm Spirit, who's got some levels now.
They have smoked on the top side, and it was not under the Observer Ward. So they saw Spectre TP to the top lane with an Observer Ward of their own, and it looks like Justin may perish here.
Dire's middle tower.
This would be a big kill. They got the stun coming in. They managed to get the call, and now the follow-up stun. Justin very dead, even if 04 does miss his hook. Meanwhile, middle lane, 747 is being dove out. The Starstorm misses, but the arrow does not. Still, though, he had a raindrop. Saved him from fatal damage of the arrow coming out. And FDL will manage to get the clean kill on Spectre with no real reprisal.
Yeah, they had a couple of minutes there where Complexity could have, I think, done some serious damage to FDL, but the Blink Dagger from Axe may be coming out a bit too early for Complexity's liking, and Swindle is also recovering from his early death, just peacefully farming on the bottom lane.
They just certainly do. They seem to be trying to like actually create a bit of space for Leshrac to get farmed. This is not your typical sacking support. This is a support that it actually needs a bit more farm in order to be successful, right?
Yeah, I guess that maybe they want to Yule so they can catch out the Storm reliably or counter-initiate the Axe, but it's still a long time coming from him, and the Spectre has to farm the off lane as a result, which is not the best place for him. And now Silencer's level 6, so going to be difficult for them in upcoming team fights if it's well timed.
If you're slightly sacking the Spectre, though, it's worth it if this 4 team fight hero lineup of Complexity comes online, is superior, and is able to force a lot of fights where Spectre just cleans up gold, right?
Yeah.
That'll be a nice way for him to come back into the game, even if he's not being prioritized.
The Blink on SK will come out soon too, and that's something that's very difficult for Silencer to deal with. If you already FPs and stuns, and then you global after, or if you even get it off, you might just die in that. So it's, in theory, like Silencer's okay versus Stain King, but it also works the other way around.
It is very scary right now, though, for coL to try and take a fight. Silencer has ulti now. Axe has his dagger. I think you just wait for Sinking Dagger, and then smoke up and try and get a pick off here or there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, you really do have pretty quick reaction, counter reaction heroes, right? You've got like the Storm Spirit who can TP in. His mobility will grant you a pretty good opening. The Silencer global. I mean, you said sack the Pudge, Ben, and it looks like that might just happen here. Melon's not showing himself really, but is going to push down the creep wave with his AoE, start putting some pressure on this tier 1 tower.
He might get hooked though. He can actually die here. Sinking's a bit far away, so I don't know if he's actually going to try and go for a solo kill on Melon.
Does he have raindrops? Yeah, he has raindrops.
Yes, he's a Leshrac dude. I guess the Spectre can haunt in, perhaps.
Yeah, and the Pudge is pretty underleveled.
Yeah.
At the same time, FDL were setting up a gank/push of their own. They wrapped around the safe lane tower just like Complexity did, but Complexity are actually going to try and defend this one, but Z-Freak has already been caught by the initiation of 747. That being said, we now have the epicenter going down from Moo. Does a lot of damage. Looks like MJW caught by the arrow is just going to be right-click down. Melon, though, is right in the middle of everyone, doing a good amount of damage, is able to take down 2 so far. FDL looking for the escape on Stan King, doesn't make it. Moo gets the Burrow Strike in place, and despite the initiation first coming out on the Kunkka, it's the Blink Dagger from Mu that changes the team fight to Complexity's favor.
It was a great epi by Mu and very poor anticipation by the Silencer. Silencer, you like when you think something bad is about to happen, you have to global. If he global 1 second earlier, the fight would have been completely different. The sinking, like because you shift Q your epi, you would have blinked in anyways without epi and without being able to stun. And he'd be in like melee range of Axe, and Axe would have still had like 80% of his HP pool remaining. Also, like
Spectre wouldn't have been
Spectre
able to
wouldn't have been able to haunt. There were a lot of things that could have gone way better for FDL there, but it all hinged on the Silencer getting his global off at a good timing. I don't think he was disabled during that time too. I think he just didn't see the TP coming in behind the tower because of the very good positioning by Mu.
Now they're going to lose Bisa, it seems. FDL, they come forward with 04, does manage to get the kill on Mu in return. Stan King looks like he was nailed by the arrow in the background. 04 runs into the trees. He knows he's dead, just looking for the rot. Suicide, not going to get it though. Justin, deep inside the trees.
Good jump for MJW.
Yeah, MJW definitely can jump whenever he wants, but he's trying to wait until he knows he can get something really good. And fortunately, it's not going to be the Spectre. He just gets the free kill on the Leshrac, and that is it. TP out from Z-Freak. He'll stay ahead of the Storm Spirit, wander around with his haste.
And this is kind of a quiet game from Storm Spirit that you want to. Just farm up until you get a Bloodstone, then get tons of kills.
I mean, I think this is... I sort of expect this out of Suzy. In the past, he's either been like... He has two extremes. He either like...
over-aggressive.
He's
or,
like, yeah, super over-aggressive, commits to way too many fights, has like weird jumps, or he's just like super RR.
Well, you're seeing the latter here.
Yeah, I feel like he oscillates between the two.
Would you like to explain what RR means for the audience, Charlie?
No, I would not.
You farm...
I believe it means you are an AFK farmer.
Yeah, AFK farm.
Stun out.
I'm
747.
sure-
This is exactly what you don't want to happen to your AFK farmer. He gets caught farming in the mid lane. He had a good amount of net worth on him too. Big kill for Complexity, slowing down that Bloodstone.
Complexity are very good about front-loading all their spells too. They get all their spells up, and if Global comes out, it doesn't matter because the damage has been done.
Yeah, they know they've got the advantage too, so they go ahead and pop that Spectre ultimate. With the Storm Spirit down, they can easily get whatever picks they can find. They couldn't quite get Bisa. Quick TP outsaves his life, but they will get 04 at least. And really, all that matters is the Spectre is a part of these kills, not necessarily the big importance on what you're killing. That Radiant's going to come in soon. Looks like another kill could be on the way. Complexity not slowing down one bit. Moves already up the top lane. Nails him. Burrow Strike, arrow, and an epicenter. MJW's gone. And you talk about slowing down items. Storm Spirit doesn't have the Bloodstone. Neither does Axe have the Blade Mail just yet.
They were playing really tight up until that point, I think. Pretty much things were going as well as they could given the laning phase. Like the 6 through 15 minute phase went pretty well for them, and then now that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the bright spot is that Storm is sort of close to Bloodstone, and then hopefully at that point he starts joining fights.
But they really need that Bloodstone, right? Because right now FDL are playing very passive, and it's allowing Complexity to get all the initiation onto FDL, which makes it rather hard for them to be able to actually stop these kills with global silence.
Yeah, and there's no counter initiation on top of that because they're not in that mentality. I think they're just thinking, all right, Suzy's just gonna farm up his Bloodstone, but because coL is front-loading all their spells in the beginning, there is actually a small window for somebody to come in and counter-initiate and get some like rebuttal kills.
They need this defensive swap. Like if the swap came out on the Storm there, they would have been in a pretty good spot.
But for right now, FDL is just they're spread out all over the map, trying to get their individual farm.
Well, Stan King, that Burrow Strike might have missed, but there's no way you're getting out of this one. He knows it too. He turns, gets as much damage on cancel as possible. Bloodstone's finally here, 747. He's already shown that one off. He's going to be caught by the X, into the Torrent, into the stun, and a boat over the top. They've got him. Bloodstone just picked up by the Storm Spirit, now already down to 8 charges. Fight at top lane, though. Blink away. Now the Spectre ultimate. And it could be FDL being turned on here. MJW, he can't actually fight up against that Spectre one-on-one. Too much damage coming out from those Desolate procs. And with the help of Moo and Z-Freak, they'll keep the X in place for the Spectre to pummel him down. 18-6, Complexity growing this lead more and more by the second, not by the minute. We're going to see yet another gank coming in. Complexity going for Bisa at the bottom lane. Jump in by Cancel is going to be stunned up. Bisa tries to turn, fights him as best he can. Melon's trying to overwhelm him. Does manage to get the kill on Bisa towards the end, but doesn't save that Mirana in time. That's a dominating streak that will actually go to Bisa. Well worth it. That being said, 747 actually comes in. Maybe it's even more worth for FDL. They're going to be able to get Melons as well. That'll be some Bloodstone charges back in the hands of 747.
Melon's gonna stun.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Susie messed up a little bit on that initial jump. Still does end up getting the kill, but
Oh, I meant to save the
Mirana jumping in,
yeah. I suppose he thought he had enough damage and that the Venge damage wasn't that enough. Well,
Yeah.
wasn't that much. But with the 144, she does a lot of right click.
And it was also kind of unnecessary for the Mirana to jump that so aggressively, right? They had the stun to stop a TP.
They just wanted a quick kill in and out. The longer you take for the kill, the more chance that FDL have to counter initiate with like a global, with someone TPing in and blinking in. You just want it as fast as possible. I'm okay with the leap in, but it was more so like Lushrak should have been, you know, just even if he misses the stun, if it forces Bisa to not right click, and all it took was one less right click, and he would have lived.
in hindsight, it probably kind of works out because at that point, Susie was jumping in, would have given him 2 Bloodstone charges.
That's positive thinking, Charlie. Not something I expect out of you, mind you, but...
MGW perched on the bottom lane, waiting for Melons to peek his head out, and that he does.
He obliges, and MGW will be able to miss the call, but still they'll get the initiation quite easily onto Melons, Jesus. And yet another Bloodstone charge, refilling up that Bloodstone. He's now at 10. But,
Can't believe he farmed that.
Yeah.
That was pretty greedy. He had no vision as well.
Yeah, I think you just lightning and run away, or just stay in the bottom net of the trees. Yeah, he didn't have vision, but like his spec had haunt up, but boat wasn't up at that point, so they still couldn't really counter initiate that well. If he was already sitting there with a Kunkka, maybe they could have fought.
I mean, at the same time, at that point when he got picked off, there were like 2 or 3 coL members on the north side of the map in FDL's jungle. So if they're there and they're not getting gone on, then he has to know that they're in his jungle.
That is a great trade.
Pudge already down. They're going to be able to find something here. Justin is caught. MGW gets him with the blade mail out. Moo looking for the counter initiation on a 2. They've already killed the Storm Spirit, but the Bloodstone Suicide actually heals Bisa up, and maybe he can actually TP away in time a little bit more, but the X is there. Pulls him right back into the hands of Cancel and Z-Freak. He's battling it out pretty well, but in the end, it is futile. FDL get run over in that fight, thinking they could turn against it. With the Global Silence stopping the Spectre, all they got was the Pudge in the beginning. And then they got the Spectre in return, but it turns pretty sharply against them as we see the team fight power of Complexity overwhelms FDL.
They're playing so well around the global, like they didn't commit the epi during the haunt right there. So they trade a haunt for global, which is fine, and after that Moo's free to go in with his epicenter, and they like the Storm Spirit was just caught on the wrong side of the river.
Yeah, coL's been doing a really good job of like playing this super high-paced game. They get 1 pick off, immediately move to the next because FDL's just spread all over the map. They know they can just go from 1 kill to the next, and they have such great catch between the Kunkka and the Sand King.
Now they have multiple Yules up, 1 on the Sand King, 1 on the Mirana. Dual purpose, 1 to catch out the Storm Spirit for a guaranteed stun, or the Axe to counter initiate so he doesn't blade mail and own people with his Helix, or to cast it on self to dispel silence.
Especially with 747 being so weak, he is an easy target for all these Yule Scepters. And we may not see any real progression into that Orchid anytime soon. He's sitting on 1900 gold for now. Is actually patiently waiting up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. He's actually ready to go for initiation onto Justin. Jumps forward. They don't actually see Justin, though. He went back into the jungle, and FDL a clean whiff there on that attempted gank in the top lane.
They had him everywhere too. They expected. I would expect the Spectre to go top 2. I don't really blame them for that move at all, because that's a common move. You push out the wave, you dagger, you go into trees, you TP out. But Justin is 2 next level for them.
What do you
He
think?
does strange things.
What do you think the over/under is on Storm's next item?
Ooh. Yeah, he's
Beast is dead. Boat's gonna catch him along with the torrent. Global silence goes down, but it's a bit too late. In fact, Stan King's just going to be cleaned up. Yule Scepter stops his TP. Complexity will find 0-4 as well. They go ahead and X marks the spot. Torrent combination, that one. 3 kills for Complexity. A miss gank from FDL and a Moonlight Shadow from Complexity. They find a clean opening to be able to push into the high ground. A tier 3 tower, not long for this world. NJW, he needs a very good initiation, one of the bigger initiations of his life. He goes just onto Melons with a Blade Mail, going to be hit by the stun out from the arrow, and immediately the Storm Spirit, who tried to join him for that gank, dies as well, right next to the Axe. Bisa jumps in and inevitably trying to go for the swap. They finally do kill Melons. Congratulations, FDL, but it's going to cost you your whole entire fight, or maybe not. NJW with the blink back in as he buys back, does get a very good initiation with the call on to 3. 747 battling it out. JK, he goes down. 747 and MJW make it work together. It cost them buybacks aplenty, but they do manage to hold their base in what was almost a doomsday scenario for them at 25 minutes.
MJW came up big.
Yeah, I got that 3-man call off, but is it too late?
If they can get Aegis, Vengeful Spirit's dead though. If Venge were up and they got Aegis, that would be a recovery. But right now it's just, yeah.
A grand total of a 500 gold exchange.
Yeah,
on
the
that team.
buyback on the Storm is very costly. He hasn't been able to accrue Bloodstone charges at all.
So, over/under on his next item.
Whew. Well, he's BKB in 1 minute, I suppose. So
Yes.
that Yule's on the axe, so that was really quick. I don't know who casted that.
I think it was
Marana.
Marana. Yeah.
Oh, they're getting pipe, or hood at least on Sand King. If they had a pipe on Dire's side, they could actually withstand the onslaught of Epicenter and Double Starfall.
Something tells me these poor supports aren't getting it anytime soon.
No,
Maybe an axe.
Pudge is going for Aether Lens. I actually think he just needs to tank up. Like, if you hook someone in, it's like you might be able to kill them with Global, but I think you'll still lose the fight. I think you have to be able to tank all the damage from Radiance, from Lash, from Boat.
Well, Complexity have many options when it comes to initiation. They don't have the greatest high ground, right? We kind of explored that during the draft, but they do have great late game. They have amazing team fight, and they have incredibly good pick-off potential right now with all the map control they have. And then Marana's Moonlight Shadow is one of those utility abilities that will never quit being good. Unfortunately for them here, they do walk through a counter wars. FDL are holed up inside their base. 747, the only one to poke his head out. He looks to farm the offlane camp. Nothing there. He is being spotted, and so is the rest of the team by this aggressive ward by Complexity. Complexity not actually trying to rotate in and cut off FDL in any way. They're just going to take the free tier 2 at top and maybe push for more to force FDL back inside their base once again.
They're thinking they're doing Roche right now. But that could so easily be punished with the Spectre ult.
Dire's top tower
I don't
is
think
under
FDL are really in any position to take anything right now. If you look, I mean, the Leshrac has actually pulled ahead in net worth over the carry Venge.
Rough times. There it is. Storm Spirit in his next item. BKB.
100% necessary. Although he can still get Yules and arrowed. Which would be a shame if that's the way he died in a fight.
And I don't think he really has the mana pool right now to really have the impact that he needs to in a fight.
Yeah, and they ping him out. They have the Observer right on top of him, so Complexity definitely know that he has BKB at this point. Bisa in a very awkward position.
He's going to be jumped on by Moo. There goes the Spectre Ultimate, canceling some of those Blink Daggers. MJW failed to counter-initiate. Spectre Ultimate going down, doesn't jump in just yet. Now the Global Silence is faded. He goes for Stan King. 0-4 is going to be up next. Not quite tanky enough against Melons, but they do hold Melons in place. Looks like 747 is going to try and pop that Rainbow Pony. They'll get him to the BKB. Allows 747 to man up there, but it's still a 1 1-for-2 exchange with Complexity knocking on the door of FDL's base. That being said, they've only picked off supports. It would be a dangerous and potentially throw move for them to continue to go high ground against the cores of FDL. So they back up, just control the base for now. Again, they see MJW in this off-lane camp area. They're going to be able to find him. Oh, the creep actually tanks the arrow for MJW. Bodyguard creep, but still, Moo's going to be able to get a jump in. Bro Strike, Epicenter, looks like MJW's dead, but 747 in the background has jumped in and managed to grab the Kunkka. A 1-for-1 exchange out so far. Another Bloodstone charge, but it did cost them their core axe.
Hero Tomato.
Hero Tomato indeed.
Yep, he is going pipe.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great. They just need to survive. We'll just,
Yeah, I guess.
if Spectre lives, he will clean them all up. They just need to survive the BKB, the global, and like the axe initial
Jump
burst. Yeah, and I think they can easily win it. Combine that with a boat, like, whew, they are hard to kill. However, Leshrac is missing a Yules. If he had a Yules there, it would have been a lot better for them. But I can understand the offense potential of the Veil and the high ground siege team fight with the drums and the mech.
Seems like Complexity agree with you when it comes to just surviving through a fight. Justin here is going from Radiant straight into a Heart.
Yeah, they just need to survive because they have like so many stuns in the fight. Like every 10 seconds, someone will die. So they just need to like go on someone to start, burst someone down. PKB global will be used, and then after that's down, if they're all up, they will continue to slay people.
And just for that extra bit of control, we now have Z-Freak picking up a gem. So the map is going to get very, very dark soon for FDL. All they have is some aggressive vision inside of the enemy jungle in this mid ward. The Orchid going back for it now on 747. Beast has picked up a BKB of his own, so there is potential for FDL to be able to win another high ground fight. Do you boys prefer that Complexity just sit back, not really fight into those BKBs for now, and just let the Spectre get big?
They need Roche. If they have Roche on Spectre, I do not see them winning a fight with Spectre just haunting in and Ramboing. The Venture Spirit actually is very tanky now, though. With Agi has 2100 HP and a fair amount of damage to boot. But if she doesn't get her BKB off, or
I mean, I don't think they have enough damage at this point
Yeah,
to
I
really
agree.
cut through a Spectre Heart. All the like the defensive mech. I just don't think that they have it, especially if they don't have map control. I think it's super hard for them to take a fight. All coL really has to do is take the next Roshan
Dyer's
and then
is under attack.
run in with the Spectre.
they can wait for a blunder at Roche. I think that might be their best bet. Jump in with the Storm, use Global to cover your tracks and get a pick off on like the Leshrac, +1 maybe, and then they can go for it. That's optimistic.
FDL, I think, are planning on attempting a contest at Roshan here. They've picked up a smoke. Maybe they can actually be the ones finding the pick off first. Maybe they can turn it into a Roshan for themselves. Meanwhile, Complexity sitting pretty far back. Nobody on the map. Hasn't been for quite some time, so it seems like Complexity thinking that the smoke has already happened, the push is already coming out, and everyone's hiding behind their towers. As we can see, though, FDL clearly not doing that. Not yet, anyway.
FDL have the HOD creep inside of Roche, so they know that Complexity's not doing Roche, so they don't have to smoke until they show up in that area. And here will be the smoke. It's been quite some time, so you don't actually expect this timing of smoke. They expected it a few minutes ago. They actually scanned right on top of Moo 10 seconds ago, or where Moo is now. And they'll walk by Roche, no smoke pop, so nothing funny is going on. Wondering where they are, and they are just holed inside their base. There isn't Reserve Reward scouting out, but no one has been revealed. Maybe Melons, 747.
Smoke for smoke.
no.
Moonlight Shadow now being used. 747 does have the BKB. He jumps forward, but he doesn't have any vision. They get the Yules. Kunkka, he tries to protect himself as best as possible. Now the dust come out. Swinnamelon's going to be the one caught by 04. Moo comes in, but the BKB was still up from 747. Didn't time that one out perfectly. Moo, he gets the epicenter swap, goes down, but he's actually in a better position. He burrow strikes in, gets a lot of damage on 747. They finally finish him off. The Suicide Bloodstone will be for their first, but MJW struggling to be able to keep up with Melons. The pony stays one step ahead of him, and the axe will be kited around until he dies. Bisa trying to go for the TP out, almost makes it. The TP sound actually went out, but Bisa lays dead here by the river. That is a total wipe now as Complexity push forward to finish off this game against FDL. No buybacks available.
That's such a bad feeling as Storm when you get caught out first and then you have to BKB and then just like, oh, I popped my BKB, I gotta make something out of this, and you're the first one in. You never want to be the first one in a Storm.
And they pop global at the same time too.
And yeah, global was wasted, and they didn't get anything out of it.
And Moo was able to channel Zeppy after because they had no fear.
Yeah, the attempted swap to stop the epicenter just puts Moo in a better position for the epicenter as it completed.
Yeah, just too much damage though. Z-Freak did a really good job of staying alive though. The defensive Yules could not have come out at a better time for him. He kited a good like half of the global and a couple of seconds of the BKB on the Storm Spirit, which was enough for Complexity to come on ravaging through that fight.
And now we've got a full mid lane of Rax gone, and top lane, the important one, melee Rax, is gone as well. Complexity just really one good push away from being able to take a one-game lead over FDL in this best of 3.
The over-under on Storm's next item after the BKB would have been a long time.
Well, he's sort of getting it.
Jesus.
Whew.
Arrow almost nailing 2 members of FDL. Whoa, that wasn't
that was weird.
He has Blink. No problem.
Meanwhile, Justin is getting towards that Manta. So
he is.
rip supports.
They are
Rip
done
everybody,
for.
really.
Yep. Yeah.
They have to invest so much to kill him at this point.
They can't stop him. He can Manta and just run at them. Global doesn't mean anything. Like his illusions do so much damage right now, and he has so much HP that like they can't kill him.
There's the Orchid for the Storm Spirit. But it's looking like FDL need more than just friendship and love. They need a miracle from on high to protect them from this next push by Complexity.
The D should stand for Divines. Friendship, Divine Rapiers, and love. That's what they need.
They don't even have a good Divine Rapier hero.
It's the Venge.
Venge.
Yeah, Venge with 2 Divine Rapiers maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's not that great. He's hitting 1 target at a time.
No. Tier 2, Manta complete. Complexity, they can always back up for the Roshan if they feel like it.
Might as well play safe.
For now, they're going to poke at the tier 3s with just the Manta illusions from Spectre.
Yeah, they just need to make sure that FDL don't do anything funny, like zip in with Storm with a global and then a BKB after and lose 2 of their supports. That's like kind of the only way they can lose the fight, or get 4-man called by Axe, or all in on the Storm and then he buys back and destroys
747, Burrow struck up. Arrow will land on him. The Torrent is there. They are actually going to try and jump this one, but the hook will protect 747, pulling him out of range. Still though, a simple poke like that almost nets Complexity a kill. Any kill at this point in time will be enough for Complexity to confidently push high ground.
They know that Pudge is over there. They arrow. They see Silencer. If they kill Silencer in the fight, it is completely over.
He does not have buyback.
He cannot show.
There's the jump. Burrow Strike already there. The hook pulls back the Storm Spirit. Meanwhile, they do manage to get the call on to cancel, trying to take him out. They manage to get the Culling Blade. The boat comes a bit too late. 0-4 is down. MJW running back to the fountain. This is what FDL have to do against this Spectre. They don't have any other options, but they just call it. GG. All 3 of their cores did make it back to the fountain, but they just know Justin, he's too big. And so is the rest of Complexity. Game 1 goes to them.
I feel like a lot of their draft just didn't work out, like the early Silencer pick. They played very well around the global silence. The Pudge got crushed in lane. Like there were just so many issues with the draft with the play from FDL that I am slightly concerned for them going into game 2.
I think